Alright guys, today we are going to test out some different waterproof / stormproof matches. I got a variety of different types of matches and fire starters. We're just going to kind of run them through like a durability test and just see how they stack up. First thing I have is just regular waterproof matches. These are made by whatever that is, Coal Lands or whatever. To me, these just look like regular matches that are supposed to be somehow waterproof. We'll see how true that is. I have the Zippo Typhoon match kit, as well as the Yuko Titan. I think that's the only name it has, is just Titan. More of these Titan Stormproof matches, which are the same matches that are in this. This is just kind of like a refill pack for this. I just kind of got extra just in case I wanted to run some more tests. These Yuko Stormproof Sweet Fire Strikeable Fire Starter. Before we get started, other than these waterproof matches, all of these, except for these, these are like a fire starter, like a piece of a fire starter brick that just has the same type of tip on it that these have, just bigger. But as far as the actual matches go, I was on Amazon because I got all these from Amazon. I couldn't find very much variety in these types of matches. All I could find was just other variations of these. So from what I could see, it seems like pretty much every stormproof match probably comes out of the same factory in China somewhere, and then they all just go to these separate companies that put them in their own little containers. But I'm 99% sure all of the matches themselves are the same. That's why I ended up with this, because they're pretty much all the same. So all of these claim to be waterproof, so I think that is a good first test. And we're gonna start off with these, because these are the ones I'm most curious about. So there's just a regular match box. I don't know what would make these matches that much different than just like a regular box of matches. It looks like maybe they have something that coats the tip or something. Waterproof heads, laminated inner and outer tray. So I guess they kind of just put some type of waterproofing coating on the tip or something. Lights like a normal match. Blows out just like a normal match. Let's get out some water. Now they say waterproof. I'm gonna assume that means that you can get it wet and then maybe dry, and then you can dry it and then use it. I'm gonna assume that doesn't mean that it burns underwater. So no, not even close. That goes out just like a regular match. So let's see. And you get it wet. That was really good. I did not expect that. Let's try it again without shaking it off. That was way better than I expected. So get it nice and wet. Pull it right out of the water. Huh. You can even see the water trail that it left on the striker. I like these. These are actually really good. Let's do that again just for consistency. Get it soaking wet. Let's try the other striker. That one's wet. Oh, don't tell me. Did we just get lucky? Oh, come on. Should dry off the striker a little bit. Really? Did we just get lucky on that one? Don't do something so cool and then not do it again. Don't be a giant letdown. Let's give it a shake. Okay. I think that's acceptable. I don't think in any rational world that if you had a match that fell into the water, I don't think that you would just pull it straight out sopping wet and then try to strike it. You'd at least give it a shake or something. That's still extremely impressive. Whenever this thing says waterproof, since they just look like regular matches, I figured that would mean that you'd have to drop it in water, and then that means once it got wet, you could let it dry, and then you could still use it. That's what I figured that meant. But no, even if it is wet, it'll still work. So so far these That's really good. Now let's see if the same is true for the Titan and the Zippo. I think these are the exact same. Yeah, these match, they are literally the exact same. This one's just a little bit of a different color. Same thing, we'll say, oh, oops, dropped it in water. Oh no, my matches are wet. Okay, it's working. And it should work underwater. It does burn underwater. Nice. Fair enough. This whole garage is going to be smoked out. Now let's see if the Zippo does the same thing. I like this Zippo container a little bit better because it has a rubber covering that covers the striker, whereas this one is just kind of just sitting there on the side. Oh no, I dropped my match in the water. Oh no, whatever will I do? Same thing. Burning a little bit slower though. Same thing. Burns underwater. Comes right back to life. Awesome. Man, it's really smoky in here. I'm gonna get some of the smoke out of here. So let's move on to the Stormproof Sweet Fire Strikeable Fire Starter. Oh, these are wrapped in plastic, so that's nice. Oh, and they're wrapped in four separate pieces. Oh, and they come with extra strikers. So that's nice. So if you had this like in a backpack or something, and then it got rained on, maybe even if you fell into the water or something, like a river or something, you'd be good. So that's nice. Everything's wrapped in plastic. You got your extra fire striker that is also wrapped in plastic, so you don't have to rely on the box striker. This is big. So what it looks like they've done here is they've just taken a little, just like a piece of fire starter, and I'm assuming like dipped it into whatever liquid they would use to make whatever's on the end of a match. Looks like that's all they've done. So this is basically just gonna be a giant match. We'll do this. We'll drop that in there. Let's say, oh no, drop my fire starter in there. We'll let that sit there, and let's take another one. Let's strike another one. Oh geez, that's intense. Oh, ow. Same thing, burns underwater. That is an intense fire starter. Okay, now the match is gone. Okay, so once the match part of it burns away, the fire starter part's not going to keep going. That kind of sucks. I mean, it's a fire starter, so, but still. All right, let's get this, shake this off. No problem whatsoever. Again, let's just keep that in there. All right, let's just let this burn. See if maybe it'll catch the top part of the fire starter on fire. It's still going. So the downside to having one of these compared to like one of these is that if this gets wet, you're gonna have less burn time than one of these. But if this gets wet, you have the same burn time whether it gets wet or dry. But if this doesn't get wet, then you have significantly more burn time because of the fire starter that it's attached to. So it's kind of a trade-off. That'd be something to keep in mind if you're trying to choose between one of these two. Now, something I want to know specific, especially for this one, but we'll do it with the Zippo one too. Since they're both kind of in these containers that are supposed to be waterproof or whatever, how they would be affected if the whole container was just to be dropped in water. Because especially for this one, because it has this striker that is exposed. Whereas the Zippo one has the cover for the striker, so I don't think that this will be a problem for the Zippo at all, but we'll go ahead and try it. We'll do the Zippo first. Just drop it in there. Completely submerged. Okay, so you dropped it in some water, you pull it back out, And then you need to start a fire. Take that off. Ooh. Hands all wet. Okay, and no problem. So now is the interesting part with this one. Throw it in there. That striker gets soaked. Let's do this. Alright, so the striker's wet. Let's get a match out. Blow it off. Oh, look at that. That was perfect. And this one is way smokier. I guess despite having the striker on the outside, it doesn't matter. Even if it's soaked, you can just pull it right out, strike the match, no problem. So this next test is something that is completely irrelevant and would never happen in real life, but I just want to see if it's going to work. So we've seen that you can obviously strike these matches and they'll burn underwater. Once they've already been lit, they'll continue to burn underwater. But if we put them in water, and then if we just put them in water and then take something really hot, I'm going to take this metal and heat it up with a torch and then dip it into the water onto the match. Will it light underwater? Like I said, completely irrelevant, but I want to know the answer. Let's go ahead and start heating this thing up. Alright, I would imagine that that's going to be enough. I can feel the heat all the way down here at the handle. So let's go. 3, 2. Nope. Let's get some more blow torches. Let's go with the 3 torch setup. Alright. That should definitely be hot enough if it's going to do it. Alright, let's go. 3, 2. Oh, it did. It lit it. Look at that. So it does work. You can do that. I was really starting to kind of second guess whether or not that was going to work because, I mean, obviously, in theory, you would think that it would work. If it can burn underwater, you'd think you could light it on fire underwater. I kind of started to question it a little bit. Even though you would never, ever need to do that ever in your life, you can absolutely light those matches underwater. Next test. Any good storm-proof match should be able to hold up to extreme wind. Now, this is going to be like a hurricane force wind test. This leaf blower has 3 levels. Of course, we will go through all 3 of the levels, and we will test these 2 first, and then we will do the fire starter next because, or this is so fat I couldn't get it into the same test with those 2, unfortunately. And those will be the only ones that we will test because I can do this test right here for the regular waterproof matches. There's your test. Almost no wind whatsoever. We'll blow those out. So let's go. We're going to start on level 1 and then we'll work our way up to 2, 3, and see if we can put them out with wind. All right, here we go. 1, 2. Jeez, that I don't know what the speed, what the third level is on this leaf blower, but I guarantee it's over 100 miles an hour. So that's pretty insane. That neither one of those could be stopped with wind. That is exactly how a proper storm-proof match should hold up against the wind. I'm definitely impressed with that. Now it's time for the fire starter, and I'm just going to go ahead and take a wild guess and say that it's probably going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to start off on level 3. See if we can blow it out. Not even close. It just burned all the way through until it got to the fire starter, just like the matches did. Not even the most insane, fastest wind hurricane in the world could stop these matches. Alright, so this is going to be our final test. Every good storm-proof match should be able to light in a storm, which means rain. We do not have any rain right now. I have done well enough in life that I was able to purchase a rain generator, so I will start that up and get some rain going, and then I will get in the rain and we'll see if we can light these matches. We're going to do the UCO one first, then Zippo, and then we will try the fire starters. So as you can tell, the rain machine works very good. It's also very cold. I can't really see anything. It's a little sideways, so we're in a storm. Let's see if we can get this thing lit. Oh, this is really cold. All right, let's put this back on. Oh, the striker fell out. We gotta get in here and see if we can use the this one that's in the plastic bag. Come on. All right, so UCO, if you're in the pouring down rain, you're kind of screwed. All right, Zippo. The trick to this is we've got this rubber cap on the top, so if we can get the match out and then open this up and strike it real fast, we should be able to do it. Maybe shield myself from the rain. All right, now I'm just gonna try to kind of shield myself from the rain just a little bit. Oh, come on. I think there's one more striker in the cap. We'll try that one. Okay, there is. So I'll keep it this way. Maybe we can do this. Oh, I need the cap. I can't screw that back on. I'm so pulled on what I'm doing. All right. Oh, come on. It's even dry in there. See if I can get this striker into this cap, and then I can hold it upside down to protect it from the rain. Oh, it fell out. I really think you're probably just screwed with the Zippo too. All right, these fire starters, I don't think these have even a remote chance. They are wrapped in plastic, so maybe they do. The rain's not even really bothering me too much at this point. Oh, whoops, run in. Oh, this works. You could totally start a fire with this if you were in the rain. That was awesome. 1 out of 3 worked. All right, so now that the rain machine is turned off, that was really kind of surprising. I didn't think that only 1 out of 3 would work. What I figured was, I thought that maybe at least 2. I thought the 2, like the Zippo and the UCO, would work, and I figured that the other one, I figured that one would be the one that didn't work, but it was actually reversed. Pretty interesting results. All right, so I think that these storm-proof strikeable fire starters, I think we can comprehensively say that these are the best storm-proof match, fire starter, whatever you want to call it, because they do everything that both of these do, plus they started outside in the rain. So now, granted, if you treated all of these the same, they would all perform the same and do the exact same job. To make these even better, like if you put these in like a freezer bag or something, or just a Ziploc bag, and put them in like a backpack or something, and then you'd have this whole thing wrapped, and then on top of that, like I've showed, every single one is individually wrapped inside of that, and then you have another striker inside of that, plus 2 strikers on the box that you can dry out if they get wet. I think these are the best. If we're honest, I mean, they're all pretty much equal. For this video, in these specific tests, these are the best. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.